These are the books that I want to read in October.
It's about books, duh.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige and we are here to talk about my October TBR. I'm laughing because the TBR has become a little bit of a joke just because I am a very moody reader, so sometimes I'm like really want to stick to the TBR. Like the Virgo in me, the perfectionist in me wants to stick to the TBR and do the TBR, and the mood reader in me just wants to read whatever the hell I feel like. So the September TBR, I will talk about how that went in my September wrap up. Spoiler alert, it didn't go perfectly, but I'm very excited about my October TBR, and honestly, this is becoming less of a TBR and more of a wish list, because if I was in control and I had the power to quit my job and just read, these are the books that I would read. Because spooky season is here. I am so deeply into it and loving being immersed in all of these different worlds that I've been reading lately. And I just want to stay there and maybe not go back to the real world. So these are the books that I want to read in October. I'm going to start with my physical books that I have here, and then I'll kind of talk through some of the books on Kindle Unlimited and books I'm waiting to come in the mail that are going to be on my kind of wish list to read in October. So let's go. So I recently had a birthday, and to treat myself, I did order a couple of books from Amazon, and one of them that I would like to read in October is Deadly Occupants by Mads Rafferty. And I am a sucker for an indie published book, especially a paperback. I am loving this. The back with the Ouija board, so sick. So this was a recommendation. Well, not a recommendation. I act like these people are my friends and they're like telling me like, read this book, but they're not. I just watch their videos religiously. So this, I saw Heather McClary reading on her YouTube channel. If you don't follow her, I'll put her YouTube down below because she's fantastic. And she also just started a Patreon book club. So if you want more of her, go join her book club. She read this and it was described as like Pretty Little Liars in a haunted house, and I was like, sign me up. I'm not a Pretty Little Liars fan. I'm not like, I never read the books, I never watched the show, but it's that like high school kind of like dramatic, almost like campy relationships that you're gonna get. It's like a slasher movie, but like Scream, not, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So this is what it says. A haunted house tour on Halloween night with 3 of her college best friends takes a twisted turn as Blair barely escapes with her life. The night may have ended, but the horrors are just beginning. What is not to like? So very excited to read this. This is pretty high on my TBR right now, so definitely gonna start this one relatively soon, and I'm freaking pumped. I feel like this is gonna be one I could totally just binge. And who doesn't love a bingeable book? Okay, the next book on my October TBR that I have been seeing everywhere and I also bought myself for my birthday is Immortal Dark by Tigist Girma. First of all, okay, we hate a shiny cover. Like the shiny cover is kind of ruining it, but we have sprayed edges. No soul can enter without an invitation. We also have a beautiful book. When you take the cover off, gorgeous. Seek mind above blood, and if you must bleed, use it as ink. This is just a sick looking book. The end papers are cool as well. So this is, as far as I know, dark academia with vampires. My inner teenager is screaming, okay? The way that Twilight had a chokehold on me as a high schooler is not okay. It's really what got me back into reading as an older person, and I'm the vampire. There's something about vampires that is just like so. What is the word I'm looking for? It's so visceral and just so like blunt and in your face. Like, this is us. We fucking suck people's blood. We fuck each other. We do all these things. Sorry, that was aggressive. But Immortal Dark, from what I've heard, addictive read and really, really good. So I'm excited about this. I honestly did not read the Dust Jacket, didn't read the synopsis, and you know what? I don't think I need to. So I would like to start this soon as well. I think this is like a perfect October read. I'm so excited. I'm just loving like immersing myself in all these different like worlds in these books. I've been reading like some contemporary, like some realistic things and some magical realism and some fantasy lately, and all about it. I did ask my husband for a reading recommendation for October, and I think this is going to be something I'm going to start soon. And if I'm really good, I will take a video of him explaining why he's recommending this book. But the next book is Stardust by Neil Gaiman, and I did talk about this in my Half Price Books book haul video. But this is, I guess it's young adult because it says Harper Teen on the back. It's about a boy. He's 18. I did start this last night. Who is on this quest to like find his true love. And I guess it's supposed to be fantasy. I honestly have no idea. Like, the back doesn't give us that much information, but it's a quick read. My husband seems to think that I will like it, and I trust his judgment for the most part. He usually gives me very, very good recommendations, especially for comics that he thinks I will like. So this month we are going to take his recommendation and read Stardust, and then we're going to watch the movie. So that is the real reason why he wants me to read this, is so that we can watch it. Because I don't know about you, but if I watch a movie that's based on a book and I haven't read the book yet, there is no chance I will ever read the book. However, reading the book and then watching the movie, perfect. Because you know what? I love to sit there and critique it and be like, that's not what happened. This character doesn't look like that. That's not right. So I'll annoy the shit out of him when we're watching Stardust together. The next book I want to read in October, I also talked about in my Half Price Books haul video, and that is Sanctuary by V.D. James. If you watch that video, you know that I randomly came across this book at Half Price Books in the horror / fantasy / sci-fi section, and I'm really wanting to read it this month, because this is a little bit different. It's not so real. It's not so fantasy. It's more like magical realism, I guess, because it is about a young man who's killed at a high school party, and one of the girls that's present there, her mom is a witch. And I guess we are, as the cover says, as the back says, weaving a spellbinding tale of a town cracking into pieces and devastating power of a mother's love. Was Daniel's death an accident, revenge, or something even more sinister? As accusations fly, paranoia grips the town, culminating in a witch hunt the whole nation is watching. Witches. We have to include witches in the October TBR. We have vampires. We have witches. All is right with the world, okay? I can't wait. So this one is definitely going to be one I'm going to read this month, hopefully. Again, this is half TBR, half wish list. Very ambitious, but I like setting myself up to fail, apparently. So why not? Sanctuary. Let's see. So the last book on my physical TBR that has been sitting on my shelf for quite a while is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. So I love Grady Hendrix. I have read several of their books. When I saw this book, I was so intrigued by it, because this is essentially, it looks like an IKEA catalog. The setup of the book is essentially like IKEA. Like, these people go to IKEA. So the synopsis says, something strange is happening at the Orsk furniture superstore in Cleveland, Ohio. Every morning, employees arrive to find broken bookshelves, shattered water goblets, and smashed wardrobes. Sales are down, security cameras reveal nothing, and store managers are panicking. To unravel the mystery, 3 employees volunteer to work a 9-hour dusk till dawn shift. In the dead of the night, they'll patrol the empty showroom floor. So it's kind of like a haunted IKEA story. So I'm really intrigued by this, and I feel like this will be a quick read for sure. It's literally, I mean, the pages are big. It's 200 something pages, but like you also get like little, like literally looks like IKEA illustrations. And like, if you've ever seen an IKEA catalog, you know what this looks like. So I feel like this is the perfect October read. It's going on the TBR. Fingers crossed. I have time for it. Let's see. All right, so let's move on to my Kindle Unlimited TBR, because as we know, I renewed my Kindle Unlimited subscription and it has been a blessing and a curse. So one of the books I want to read on Kindle Unlimited is Hollow Heathens by Nicole Fiorina. This has been all over my social media, all over BookTube, all over everything. Although this book came out in 2020, it's spooky vibes. It's spooky vibes. And everybody is here for spooky vibes this year. I love it. I am loving like being in this community this time of year because I just see people reading the things that are like making them the happiest. And I'm like, yes, I love that for you. And I want to do that. This is like a fantasy, paranormal, romance, gothic kind of vibes. And all I know is that there's like a group that has to wear masks and they're, I don't know, it's like a secret society. The town is called Weeping Hollow, which sounds so creepy. I honestly don't know a lot about this book, but I feel like the same people that I follow that read Nocticadia and loved it have also loved Hollow Heathens, and it's a series, so that's really interesting. I love starting a series. Can't tell you how many I've started recently, but it's a lot. The other star of the show has arrived. So Hollow Heathens is definitely on there. Another one I really want to read is Charming Your Dad. That's like a demon, I think. And it's like a romance, age gap. And it's like he's a demon and she's a witch, I think. How fucking great does that sound? That sounds like a quick ass read too. Okay, it's called Charming Your Dad by Sarah Blue. I will give you more information because I'm not going to be that degenerate person right now. And it is the ex-boyfriend's dad. She got cheated on, so she starts dating his dad to get back at him, and there's a mystery to him, and she's dead set on figuring it out. We love an ex-boyfriend's dad romance. If you've read Birthday Girl, beautiful. It is so fucking good. So I hope that this is also good. I don't know if I'll get to this. This is like really like wish list territory because it's not realistic that I'm gonna read all of these books, but I would like to read them. All right, another one on Kindle Unlimited that I really want to read is Anathema by Carrie Lake. This is her newest release, and it is about this woman who kind of gets banished to this place called the Eating Woods, where like you cannot escape, but somehow I guess she gets out. So there's like a whole mystery around that, and it's like a very slow burn romance. And after reading Nocticadia, I am a Carrie Lake stan, okay? I will read a lot of the things in her backlist because honestly, her writing is beautiful. The thing is her books are fucking long, okay? Her books are really long. My cats are literally having a fist fight. Anathema is over 700, okay? So this is another, we're getting into ambitious territory, but really highly anticipated release, and it's going to be part of a series. It's the first book. So I definitely would love to read that, but maybe that's going to get pushed off to a November situation. Okay, finally, the last book that is on my TBR for the month of October is Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I do have this book on the way. It was part of my Book of the Month box this month, and I personally am a very big fan of Sally Rooney. I first read Normal People when it came out, and it was part of Book of the Month. Oh, gosh, in 2009, 2018, something like that. Fell in love with it. The story was so devastating and so fucking real and raw. I loved it. I then proceeded to read Conversations with Friends and then Beautiful World, Where Are You, when it came out, and that was another book of the month pick. So, of course, when Sally Rooney releases it, I will read it. Now, am I the same reader now that I was in 2019? Absolutely not. In 2019, I was going through a very big change in my life. I was a sad girl book reader. I was loving everything. Give me the most depressing contemporary literary fiction you can give me, and I will eat it up. So I'm curious to see how I'm going to feel about her newest release, because of course she always writes about love in the most heartbreaking way. Do I like feeling sad and depressed and heartbroken? No, I don't anymore. This is why I surround myself with romance and fantasy and things that make me feel happy. But I can appreciate her writing because she's really fucking talented. So I will definitely be reading Intermezzo. Again, that's another one. I don't know if I'm going to get to it in October specifically, but maybe that's more of like a winter read for me. I might save it, but it is on my wish list. What I did not include in this video for the October TBR are my book club picks. So I am meeting with one of my book clubs next week, so not sure what that pick is going to be. And my other book club, we're also kind of like figuring that out. Maybe in my next video, I will update you on that and kind of tell you what our book club picks are going to be. If you have any suggestions for horror novels or anything spooky, Halloweeny that you think that we should read in October for our book club, let me know. We're thinking about maybe a Stephen King, which is peak scary vibes. I haven't read a Stephen King book in a really long time. I'm also a Stephen King stan. I haven't read as much of his backlist as I would like to, just because it's hard to get to everything that you want to get to. But I would like to read more of his books, so that's a possibility. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, I appreciate you so much. I am so honored to have like over 100 views on my last video and have so many people subscribing. I know that having like 15 subscribers is not a lot, but for me, making myself vulnerable and putting myself into this space that I wasn't sure that I belonged in, it's really, validating for me. So thank you for all the love on Instagram and on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this October TBR. If any of these are on your TBR, please, please, please let me know. And let me know if you want to do a buddy read. I'm down for that. From Snacks and I, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!